Hey, listen, WolverSnap community, Vin4 here again, coming back at you with another deck for today. You probably heard about the new deck that's been going around. Everybody's been making videos about it. Well, I tried the deck out and I decided I'm going to give it a run too and see if it is as good as what people are saying it is right now. This deck has been posted by Cozy, it's been posted by KM Best. People say Revis created the deck. I went on and just put in SERA in my deck builder and hit the plus button, and guess what came out? Revis's deck, or whoever made this deck. So anyways, pretty interesting. Let's take a look at the deck real quick, and then we'll go ahead and show you some gameplay, guys, and show you some of the deck stats that I got, which is pretty impressive. Thanks for joining me, guys. Please snap me a like and subscribe. Let's snap. All right, guys, first of all, let's take a look at the cards in this deck I call Auto Sera Tech, for lack of a better name. You've got Shadow King, Zabu, Lizard, Maximus, Killmonger, Mobius and Mobius, Gladiator, Shang Chi, Enchantress, Miss Marvel, Sera, and Legion. You'll notice that these are all tech cards. This is a classic Sera Tech Miracle deck, where you play the last turn and you win the game. So it's comprised of all these tech cards. What's new to this deck is some of the new cards, which is Gladiator, Miss Marvel, and Legion. And then Miss Marvel, again, is going to help you go wide. She's a 415. And then Legion also is going to help you change locations, which can win you the game just by playing Legion, especially those cards that are those decks that are relying on magic to extend the game. You could drop Legion down on turn 6 and surprise them and win the game, which is super useful on the ladder and in Conquest. Now, if you don't have Legion, you can replace him with, like Vision, another big stat card. Can move around. That'd be pretty good. So those are the cards of the deck. Here's what they do. Shadow King, set all cards here to their original base power. Please be aware that this does not reset cards that are ongoing. So this does not reset Darkhawk. It does not reset Devil Dino. It does not reset Null. So you cannot play Shadow King on those cards. But it does reset Venom. It does reset Shaw. It does reset Collector, and all these cards that are growing in power, Angela, etc. Kitty Pryde, Zabu. You guys, I think, know what Zabu does. Your 4-cost cards cost 1 less, as it says there on the screen. Lizard is another stat number. It's a 2/5 with the negative ongoing ability of -4 if your opponent has 4 cards in that same location. However, we can get around that by playing Enchantress, which removes the abilities from all ongoing cards at that location. So as you're planning out your moves, you can plan out to put Lizard and Enchantress in the same lane if possible. So that's always helpful. Maximus is another big stat stick. Your opponent draws 2 cards. Killmonger obviously destroys all 1st-cost cards. Really good against Deadpool Destroy. You play this on the last turn. They have initiative, and then you can wipe their 1-cost cards out. Kitty Pryde, those kinds of things, etc. Mobius is your cost can't be increased. Your opponent's cards can't be reduced. This card is mainly in here for Loki decks. So, but it can work for others. A lot of people are playing Zabu too. So you can catch them on that and really make it a lot difficult for them. So Mobius is meta relevant, I think, right now. Gladiator, add a card from your opponent's deck to their side of this location. If it has less power, destroy it. With the increase and buff in his power from 7 to 8, he gets rid of a lot of things like Onslaught at a 6/7. You can get rid of a lot of very difficult cards, Iron Man, Darkhawk, as long as when you're pulling them, they're not, their power isn't above. So that's really good. But if it is, you have this next card, Shang Chi, to deal with that. So that's pretty nice. Destroy all enemy cards here that have 10 or more power. We talked about Enchantress. Remove the abilities from all ongoing cards. Great against Miss Marvels. Great against Super Scrolls, Iron Mans, you name it. Miss Marvel, obviously one of the best cards in the game right now. I'm sure it'll be nerfed at some point, but right now it's a 415 if you have the proper cards in the other locations and you're playing her in the middle. Sera, this reduces all the cards in your hand by 1. Of course, you have protection from Mobius as long as he's on the board, so that's pretty nice. She goes down on 5, so people don't have a chance unless they've magicked and you haven't been able to change the board. They don't have a chance to get rid of that, so it's pretty nice. Legion, again, replaces each other location with the one where you play him. So super, super powerful tech card. Again, surprise factor is 8 out of 10. You know, more people are playing him right now, but not a lot of people still have this card. So you could still surprise a lot of people. I surprised a lot of people on Infinity Conquest when I was just playing. And really, really great card. So that's the cards in the deck, guys. Let's look at just a general turn by turn. And then I want to show you the stats of this deck, which are sick. Let's snap. Okay, before we go any further, I want to show you why you want to play this deck. Look at these. Look at the stat line. This was my Conquest stats, as you could see up top here. Auto Sera Tech, SERA Control, whatever you want to call it. And I had a 76.5% win rate, 13-4 I went. Now that last loss was just a really quick, I played Proving Grounds after I played Infinity Conquest, and I always snap on Proving Grounds and the other person snaps. So I lost the 8 cubes in that first one, and then I just conceded. So I was like, it's going to ruin my stats a little bit, but you guys can get the idea. Now, this isn't a lot of games, but you got to remember that if it's a good deck, you should be able to get some pretty solid stats out there. If it's a bad deck, usually you don't start off really well like this, even with only 17 games. So obviously those percentages will come down as you play the deck more, but this is the sign of a really, really solid deck, guys. So I just want to point that out to you guys. So now let's get into the deck itself and let's take a look at the turn by turn before we look at a little bit of my gameplay. Thanks so much, guys. Please snap me a like and a subscribe. All right, guys, let's take a look at the turn by turn. Now, this is going to look a lot different than what we're used to, because normally we want initiative and we want to get ahead, especially with the whole Alioth meta that we just had. You want to get ahead so you could put Alioth down. This deck works the exact opposite. So for those of you who have not played a control deck before, this is going to be good for you, because sometimes it's hard. I know it is for me to just try and resist putting stats on the board, but that's what you do with this deck. So you want to lose initiative. You want to go last on the last turn, okay, generally. So turn 2, you could put Zabu down. He's only worth 2. That'll allow you to play some other things near the end of the game. Now, you don't even have to play Zabu on turn 2 if you don't want to. But you could put him down. Then on turn 3, you could put Mobius and Mobius down, okay? That's for your Loki player. So especially if you know you're playing a Loki player, or if they have a Zabu, I'm definitely going to put Mobius down. You probably want to skip turn 4. You probably won't want to play, generally speaking. And then you wait until turn 5. This is the Sera miracle where this starts to happen. It starts happening on turn 5. You put Sera down on turn 5. And then you have a slew of combinations you can play, because Sera reduces your cost by each card by 1 point. So, for instance, if they put a Miss Marvel down in the middle and it's not protected by Cosmo, which mostly they're not right now, then you could play down Enchantress for 3 cost and then your Miss Marvel on top of that for a 3 cost. Now, in order to do that, if you're playing that in the middle, you want to make sure you have Zabu on your left side or right side and Mobius on the other side. so that Miss Marvel is hitting both of those sides and giving the +5 power on each side. That's one option you can do. Another option, or you can play these in separate lanes. I just put Enchantress first, just to remember not to Enchantress your own Miss Marvel. That's a no-no, so if you're playing them in the same lane. But they can be in separate lanes as well, depending on where your where you think your person's going to be playing their Iron Man or Onslaught or Miss Marvel, etc. Now, another option on turn 6 is Shang Chi for a 3 cost, Shadow King for a 1 cost, Maximus for a 1 cost, and Lizard for a 1 cost. That's a ridiculous amount of stats. Plus, hopefully you're taking someone out with Shang Chi. You're reducing someone's power with Shadow King. Remember, Shadow King does not affect ongoing cards. So if they have a Dark Hawk or a Devil Dino, not going to work. Or a Null. So just make sure you're not using Shadow King against an ongoing card. I think everybody makes that mistake. I've made that mistake before as well. And then here's another option. You could have Maximus, Lizard, Shadow King, Gladiator. Anything that you can fit within 6 points after Sarah's reduced it is free game. And so basically with this deck, you just kind of see what your opponent does, where they're setting up shop. And then on turn, you put down Sarah on turn 5, and then on turn 6, you attack. Take out all their big plays. Now, you guys, if you're playing a mid-rangey deck where they're not playing a lot of things, or they don't have ongoing cards, then you're going to play this deck a little bit differently, right? So just be aware of that, right? Most of the time, you're letting them have initiative, and then you're playing things at the end. Remember, if you're playing Destroy and it's a Deadpool deck, make sure you save your Killmonger for the last turn, and they have initiative, so you can put that Killmonger down, take out their Deadpool that they've worked so hard to get pumped up there. Now, also, you can Shadow King their Deadpool if you don't have your Killmonger. So just be aware of some of those things. There are a ton of options with this deck because there are a ton of tech cards. So you have so much you can use here, guys. Sometimes you want to play Legion on 5. Sometimes you want to play Legion on 6 as a 4 cost and take away their limbo so you surprise them. So lots of things you guys can do here. But anyways, that's a turn by turn for Sarah. That's the deck. That's how you play it. Let's jump into gameplay. Please snap me a like and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. Let's snap. 1 Q. That's what you get for snapping at the very end. Oh my gosh. Vulture. Watch I get Bifrost or something now. That would be sweet. Gosh, I want to finish this guy off. It's going to be a stupid... Yeah, I knew he had Professor X. Didn't I say that? He had Professor X, so if case... That's so interesting. So he's probably not playing negative now. But I have Shadow King. Definitely don't want to give more cards. I feel like this is always a good thing to do. Because he's got nothing that can beat me. Dang it. I want his Iron Mans. Guess there's nothing. Huh. Problem is I need cards on both sides. Because it'll just Professor X one of them. If I did that. I'm surprised he's negative. That's actually really surprising. I guess his Professor X is still a 3-5. I could do 2 and 6. Professor X. No? Okay. Man, I should have switched those around. I think he could beat this. Enchantress. Yeah, he can't beat this.
I am Iron Man.
Bye. Goodbye.
Victory.
That was fun. So we got East Texas on the run a little bit, but not time to get cocky. Have to be smart. And there's Celine. That's annoying. I believe... Oh, my Zabu stays negatived. That's annoying. Okay, this is where I play Gladiator. And hopefully... Okay. Perfect. So the only place he could play is right here. So he may try and play a little Galactus, sneak in a Galactus play on me. Nope. That's gone. Okay. Now I gotta put my Miss Marvel down.
Opponent snapped.
And... yeah, he could Shang Chi me there, which would be unfortunate. But I do have another Miss Marvel. Let's do that. And then we're going to play Miss Marvel and... you might win this one. Yeah, there's the Hobgoblin over there. And I could definitely Miss Marvel in the middle. So he can't Eliath me. He can Iron Man? This surely can't be the play. Let's do that. What a goofball, man.
Victory.
Dude, I can't believe you played that sentry on the last turn. I cannot believe that. I was like, there's no way he plays sentry on the last turn. And yet he did. Alright, let's see if we can win a third Conquest match in Infinity. Conquest mode. Jeez. What's up with Central Park, man? Oh my gosh. I think I want him to have the lead. That'd be cool if I could snipe something. Let's go. See Onslaught.
I am Iron Man.
He's gonna have nothing in the middle. No. Yeah, you're not gonna beat me in the middle.
I am Iron Man.
Ha ha. Ha. Let's go. Legion doing some work again. Yeah. Yes. Well, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. Please snap me a like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Let's snap.